Rhythm in the top court. Let's just apprise our viewers of that, because all the cases now have been transferred to Delhi. All the cases have now been transferred to Delhi. That is the big development taking place, raising a huge question mark when it comes to the UP government and the administration and the police over there. You have the Supreme Court making that decision of the transfer of all the 5 cases that has been done to Delhi. Rhythm, this is a big development taking place as far as each and every detail that has been sought by the top court, and looking at the current situation, the twists and turns that have been happening, the Supreme Court deciding that all those 5 cases need to be transferred out from Uttar Pradesh.
Well, absolutely. This is a case that had everybody trying to understand what was happening, and this was something the Supreme Court indicated earlier on, Amita. Finally, the big breaking news that's coming in, the CBI, the Supreme Court has said all the cases that's been there in the Unnao case after hearing the CBI's plea will now be lodged, will be transferred out of Uttar Pradesh right here to the capital, that is New Delhi. They've clearly specified this only after CBI's Joint Director Sampath Meena, who's presently inside courtroom, who briefed the Solicitor General Tushar Mehta on the case, and then the CBI spoke about the rape and the gang rape that the victim went through, about the death of the father mysteriously, about the 5 FIRs in the case, in the charge sheet in the case, and yet there is no verdict, yet there is no justice in the case. Finally, the court has said this case will now be transferred outside the state of Uttar Pradesh. It will be here, right here in Delhi, that investigation in the case will be done. The breaking news that's coming in, Tushar Mehta has said we will decide about the hearing. We will see how this can be done. But CBI team, the CJI has said, how is the victim? Where is she going under treatment? So we are clearly seeing an anguished Supreme Court trying to give sympathy to the victim, trying to ask how is the victim doing, and how is the victim doing is the main concern that the Chief Justice of India has been speaking about. Even now, as the case is going on, the court is now saying, the CJI is now saying, kya ilaj ke liye dusre jagah se can we shift her somewhere else if possible? Very clearly, an apprehensive Supreme Court, after being given and being abreast of the concerns that have been put forward by the CBI about how there was a rape and a gang rape, about how the security personnel have now been suspended, about how BJP's leader Kuldeep Sengar has now been expelled, now say, can she be shifted somewhere else if possible? So the victim is now currently undergoing treatment in Lucknow, but the Chief Justice of India, concerned about her, has asked whether she can be shifted out. Quickly, for our viewers who are just joining us, in a span of 15 minutes, the top court has now been asking about how the critical condition of the rape victim is, who's gone through a lot after she was raped, gang raped, and then she saw the death of her father, her relatives, her aunts, and also an eyewitness in the case. The top Solicitor General of the country, Tushar Mehta, informs the courtroom that she is currently on ventilator. She is at KGMU, and that's where currently she is. But the question that the Chief Justice has raised is very crucial. Can she be shifted out? Is she fine? Can we actually shift her somewhere else if possible? The main reasoning, Amita, it seems to be is the court seems to have lost any sort of trust they would have in the government and how it's actually functioning when it comes to the Unnao case. The court has very seriously asked questions about the 5 FIRs and the charge sheet that was filed in this case. They've clearly been informed by the CBI that's conducting its investigation in the case. Joint Director of the CBI, Sampath Meena, who made herself available in the case, telling the Supreme Court that in this case the victim had been raped earlier and then she was gang raped. They've also told the courtroom in this particular case that they have started an investigation in. What is going to now happen? The first thing the Supreme Court has now been told is the case has been transferred outside Uttar Pradesh, right here to the capital in New Delhi. This investigation is now being done by the CBI. The CBI has already told the courtroom it doesn't seem that the Arms Act case against the victim's father was correct. We need to now get an understanding whether the victim should be airlifted to Delhi. The latest information coming in, whether there is any deadline that has been given for this investigation to continue. The CBI has asked also now about why the letter of the victim was given to him late. So let's tell you lots of breaking news that's coming in right now from the courtroom. There is a questioning being done about whether this case should be transferred here. The Supreme Court has sealed and asked for details of the case. Supreme Court says all 5 cases relating to the Unnao rape case, including the truck accident, will be transferred to Delhi. CBI seeks 30 days time to complete truck accident case. The Supreme Court says it must be completed in a week. Supreme Court says it will shift the Unnao victim to AIIMS today if the medical board so advises. So questions also coming in right now about how the concern of the victim is. The Supreme Court says we might also shift the victim to AIIMS today if the medical board advises. The Supreme Court is also being told, the CBI has, like I said, told the Supreme Court what happens. The Supreme Court refuses to give 1 month time to the CBI to complete the Unnao victim's accident probe, gives only 7 days deadline. They will immediately transfer all the cases outside Uttar Pradesh. A 7-day deadline being given to the CBI to complete the investigation. The breaking news that's coming in, they will shift the Unnao victim to AIIMS today if the medical board so advises. That's the news that's coming in. The Supreme Court is trying to understand what focus needs to be given in this case and what should particularly happen here. Let's also tell our viewers, Supreme Court refuses the plea and says the CBI chief can gather case details on telephone, apprise itself. The CBI bench has also very clearly said that this case needs to be completed within a period of 7 days. An officer of the rank of Joint Director is also present in the courtroom as we are speaking. And there are possibilities the court is trying to examine whether she can be airlifted to Delhi. They're going to ask the medical board for that. The big picture that's coming, the news point, the Chief Justice and the Supreme Court seem to have lost trust in the government. They seem to have lost trust in how this case could be moving forward. And that's why they're saying the victim could be possibly moved forward here. The Chief Justice says, can we take her to Delhi for treatment? They also ask about the possibilities not only of her being airlifted, but they clearly tell the CBI this case should be completely full. The case investigation should be done and completed within 7 days. That's the deadline that they've given to them. They've also questioned why the letter was given to them late. So this is a Supreme Court that's angry. This is a Supreme Court that's putting justice into motion in the Unnao rape case finally. The moment they start doing this, the security personnel of the victim are suspended. Kuldeep Sengar has been expelled, but it's justice too little too late. It comes only after the victim's father is dead. It comes only after 2 aunts are dead. There was an accident in which she's critically injured, lying in hospital right now. The lawyer is unwell right now. Her lawyer has been unwell. 2 aunts are dead. The critical, crucial eyewitness in the case, Eunice, is also dead.